I have never encountered a corner of peace other than solitude, a preacher as still as a graveyard, and a friend as wise as a book. Have you ever wondered why Allah separates some of His servants from everyone and everything? Why do those around them drift away? Or why do they retreat from the noise of the world? Though this situation may seem like punishment, it is, in fact, part of a special process where Allah prepares His beloved servants. Sometimes, Allah isolates His chosen ones from the world, people, and excesses. This solitude is not abandonment, but the beginning of a greater wisdom. In the Quran, Allah says, "Whoever places their trust in Allah, He will suffice them. Surely Allah is the one who fulfills His command." Allah has a measure for everything. This solitude is Allah's way of telling you to come closer. Perhaps the people around you have distanced themselves, or what you expected in life hasn't come easily. But remember, this is not abandonment. It's a divine plan from Allah to purify, strengthen, and prepare you for deeper wisdom. Perhaps now is the time to notice these signs in your life. 1. The wisdom of protecting your heart. The greatest blessing is when Allah distances His beloved servants from everyone and everything. One reason for this is to protect their hearts. The world is a place that easily distracts, occupies, and even pollutes the heart. Constant rushing, unnecessary conversations, the pursuit of worldly goals, or being surrounded by the wrong circles can tire the heart and pull it away from its true purpose, which is Allah. At this very moment, Allah removes His beloved ones from this chaos. This separation is a mercy that protects your heart and preserves your pure faith, just like you would protect a precious jewel from elements that may harm its shine. Allah protects your heart, your faith, and your soul. The fleeting attractions of the world can distance your heart from Allah. Sometimes, a person can unknowingly find themselves in the wrong circles. These circles may encourage compromise in faith, drift from Islam, or even lead to bad habits. Allah knows these situations in advance and isolates His servants to protect them. Sometimes, losing people in your life or ending a friendship or relationship may disappoint you. But you should know that this is actually Allah's way of protecting you. For case, on the off chance that there are individuals around you who deride your confidence or fellowships that empower you to walk the off-base way, Allah will disjoin these ties. To begin with, this may disturb you, make you are feeling forlorn, and you will even question why it's happening this way. But over time, you may realize that these divisions are for your assurance. Allah aims to preserve your faith and pure religion by keeping you away from anything harmful. Within the Quran, Allah says, "O you who accept, secure yourselves and your families from the fire whose fuel is individuals and stones." These separations in your life are signs. Allah is telling you to turn your heart away from worldly matters and turn to Him. Sometimes a person can't hear Allah's voice amidst the noise around them. Solitude is the moment when these voices fade and you are left alone with your Lord. These are the moments when your heart needs the deepest cleansing. Allah does not leave you alone during this process. On the contrary, He is closer to you than ever. Reflect on this. Perhaps Allah wants to teach you something during this time. Your heart should belong to Allah alone, not to anyone else. His love and protection are enough for you. This isolation offers you the chance to decontaminate your heart and turn back to Allah. Once you step absent from the chaos of the world, your heart gets to be pure, your intellect clearer, and your soul at peace with Allah. This solitude is Allah's wish for you to establish a connection only with Him, keeping you away from harmful people and environments. Maybe it feels heavy now. You may think that people have abandoned you, but don't forget, this is not abandonment. It's a process of protection. Allah has chosen you for Himself and is giving you an opportunity to cleanse your heart from worldly dirt. Now is the time to feel Allah's love and protection in your heart during this period. 2. The wisdom of purifying your character. Sometimes Allah leaves His beloved servants alone. This isolation is an opportunity for an individual to filter their character, teach their soul, and reinforce their otherworldly sense. An individual has trouble seeing and recognizing themselves within the swarms, suffocated by the diversions of common concerns and outside voices. Weights from the environment, superfluous discussions, and common desire anticipate an individual from setting out on their internal travel. In any case, isolation clears out you alone with yourself, permitting you to recognize your flaws and rectify them. Allah does not abandon His servant during this process. On the opposite, He gifts bolster to reinforce the soul, increment tolerance, and lift ethical values. Isolation may be an interesting opportunity for self-awareness. In isolation, an individual faces their claimed shortcomings, such as outrage, pride, restlessness, or envy. This mindfulness may be agonizing, but it too gives an opportunity to teach the soul and filter the character. Allah offers this confrontation as mercy. When an individual recognizes their botches, they can begin to adjust them into Allah more truly. The life of Prophet Musa could be an extraordinary case of this. Allah cleared out Musa alone whereas in Madian sometime recently his prophethood. Amid this period, he created ethics such as tolerance, lowliness, and continuance. His time as a shepherd in Madian served as an arrangement that developed his character. The supplication of Musa amid this period is described within the Quran. I said, my master, I truly require each great simply send down to me. This supplication communicates his accommodation to Allah in his isolation, and how this period of separation developed his otherworldly development. The isolation fortified Prophet Musa's dedication to Allah, planning him to stand against a dictator like Pharaoh. Isolation too increments a person's persistence, flexibility within the confront of challenges, and believe in Allah. This handle doesn't, as it were, fortify the individual's character, but too sets their association with Allah. Solitude allows one to let go of all external support and turn entirely to God. For this reason, solitude is not abandonment. It may be an extraordinary period for the otherworldly development of Allah's worker. Amid this time, an individual revamps themselves and reinforces their association with Allah. An individual who reinforces their character, increments persistence, and rectifies their botches rises from this period much more grounded. In this way, Allah decontaminates His cherished workers and plans them for more prominent errands. Solitude is truly a mercy for the spiritual ascension of a person. 3. The wisdom of strengthening the bond with Him. Isolation could be an uncommon prepare in which Allah coordinates His cherished hirelings to set up a more profound bond with Him. An individual may in some cases disregard their commitment to Allah in the midst of the busyness of life and the diversions of the world. The brief concerns of this world make it troublesome to completely center on a door and coordinate the heart toward Allah. But Allah pulls His beloved servants out of this chaos, offering them the chance to turn only to Him. This isolation could be an extraordinary period where one gets Allah's kindness to fortify their bond with their Master and feel closer to Him. Amid this time, an individual learns to depend exclusively on Allah, setting aside common endowments and back from individuals. Allah does not forsake His worker amid minutes of isolation. On the contrary, He becomes closer to them with His mercy. A person feels the sincerity of their prayers in solitude, turning to Allah more earnestly. The distractions in crowds often interrupt worship, but solitude removes these distractions, allowing the heart to focus entirely on Allah.